Hi, I'm Leah. Welcome to my podcast, China Liao Talks. In this podcast, I share honest and down-to-earth stories about life in China, covering everything from culture and work to language learning, all based on real experiences. Let's dive in.
Hello, 大家好。皆さんこんにちは、リエです。今回もゲストをお呼びしています。今回のゲストはアイデンさんです。Aiden is currently based in Shanghai. He runs a channel on YouTube and other social media platforms, interviewing people from various countries who have connection to China. Today, I am going to ask Aiden why he creates this kind of content and what message he hopes to deliver through this channel. Can you give a quick introduction of yourself, maybe in Chinese?
OK， 大家好，我叫 Aiden， 我今年26岁，来自广东珠海。我现在是一位全职的 YouTube 博主。然后我的频道内容主要是采访，比如说我在中国，我会采访来自世界各地的人，我会选择一些特定的话题。然后我在国外的时候会采访住过中国跟住过国外的外国人，以及在海外生活的中国人，大概是这样。
谢谢。Actually, you are my first person who are from Zhuhai. I actually want to visit Zhuhai, and I went to Macau last year. I wanted to go to Zhuhai, but at that time I didn't apply for a visa to enter China, so I couldn't go. But I want to go to Zhuhai.
Zhuhai is very boring.
Really?
It's not worth it. Zhuhai is like a retirement city.
Really?
Yeah.
That means relaxing?
Yeah, very relaxing. Like nothing going on. The party is boring. It's very chill. It's not much traffic, so and it's also like a clean, organized city. So that's why it's good for retirement. But like if you want to build a career, not a good place.
Yeah, actually, people told me the same. Zhuhai is very clean, beautiful, relaxing. So because I live in Tokyo, and Tokyo is very busy, and Shanghai is busy too. That is why I sometimes go to a place where it's very relaxed and no rush.
Yeah.
Maybe when I want to relax, I might go to Zhuhai.
For me, like I'm from a relaxing city, so that's why like I'm tired of relaxing. I need to work. I need to bust my ass to work.
I see. That is why you moved to Shanghai.
Yeah, that's why.
When did you move to Shanghai?
I think last month.
That's quite recent.
For real, yeah. But before Shanghai, I was in Beijing for half a year.
I see. Why did you choose Shanghai, not Beijing, in the end?
So my original plan is I want to find a city that I want to stay in, and also like it's more quite like internationalized. So I check out Beijing. But I think Beijing is more of it's not international like Shanghai. I mean like Beijing has a lot of tourists. Beijing has a lot of foreign expats that came here for exhibitions or just for work. But I feel like Shanghai is more of like a first tier city in the world vibe. For example, like if you want to go to travel, if you want to go to New York, you want to go to Tokyo, you want to go to Singapore, you want to go to Shanghai, you want to go to London. But like Beijing is out of the first tier list, you know. This kind of vibe. That's how I describe Shanghai.
I see. Yeah, I can tell that Shanghai has more foreigners compared to other cities in China.
If you look up like statistically, I don't know if it's more than Beijing, because like geographically speaking, like I think Beijing is a lot of times bigger. So I don't know, but like with the amount you can see on the street, definitely Shanghai. Especially you go to like Zhuhai area, Jing'an area.
Yes. And then you can find lots of Japanese people in here. I heard there are 38,000 people living in Shanghai at this moment.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. But there used to be even more. Once a time, there used to be nearly 100,000 Japanese people in Shanghai.
And then something happened and people left.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Everybody left Shanghai. Not only just foreigners, also Chinese people left Shanghai.
I can tell because I see that more and more Chinese people moving to Japan for study and work. And when they usually come to Japan for studying, most people would like to stay in Japan for work. So they try hard to find a job after graduating university or language school.
I feel like, because I went to Japan a month ago, right before Shanghai. Oh my gosh. I have to say, after coming back from Japan, I miss the cleanness. I miss like the society standard is very high. Like no one's gonna do weird shit. I mean, it's different, like personal space. I enjoy the personal space.
Yes.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I can tell the difference too. When I'm in Shanghai, I feel so closer to other people. In a good way and bad way.
Yeah.
But mostly in a good way because my local friends here help me a lot. Like for example, buying me a Starbucks or calling a taxi for me, even though I can do it by myself, but they do it for me because they want. They want to help me.
Yeah, it's the hospitality.
Yeah, and then they do it just naturally.
To be honest, when I visit Japan, I had a really hard time navigating the subway system. And I talked to so many Japanese people. They helped me so much. Yeah, it's really helpful.
Yeah, actually, many Japanese people would like to help other people the same way, but most people are very shy, so they don't go from themselves. Like when people ask them, they will do it for you.
For real, they don't approach you. But here, they're gonna approach you.
Yeah, because for example, if you approach a stranger, the stranger will be very surprised at you, and then they might even think that, like what this guy is going to do it for me.
True.
That's one cultural difference, I think. And then you speak very good English. Where did you learn it from?
I studied abroad. In Atlanta, Georgia, America. And I worked my ass off to get this far.
How long did you live in America for?
4 years.
4 years and very natural accent.
ありがとうございます。
Did you used to study English at school, like junior high school, elementary school, high school?
Not too well. I wasn't a good student. Yeah, I would skip classes. I think the reason that I can really achieve this level is like there's no many Chinese people there, so I can only hang out with people from everywhere. So that's how and I was drinking a lot, parties a lot.
So you talk to a lot of people.
Yeah, it helps.
Yeah, I can tell as well. That's how I practice my English or Chinese as well. Just all about using.
For real. Yes.
You went to America for school, university?
Yes.
I see. And then you are now back in China. So did you want to stay in America for work or did you want to come back to China?
So I made a promise to my family because they pay for everything for my university degree. It's like a normal thing to do in China. So I promised them after I get it done, I will come back to China. So that's like a promise. So I wasn't really thinking about if I wanted to stay in America. If I have a choice now, I wouldn't do it anyway.
Is there anything else that you wanted to do, like when you come back to China?
First?
Now you are doing YouTube, right? Before YouTube, any plans that you are going to do?
So before this job, I had like 3 other jobs. So I tried different areas. So like I had an overseas degree. I speak English, and I studied marketing. So what can I do? Like I only have a few options. First one is like go to kind of like consulting agents, be like study abroad programs or immigrations or overseas investment. So I tried that. I didn't like it. For a young age, it's hard to do kind of work like this because it takes a lot of experience and a lot of trust. So I didn't want to do it, and it seems kind of risky. Do anything related with like investment. And then I tried social media. I like that, but I didn't like the Chinese company I work for. Yeah, it's like a Chinese social media company. It's just very intense. Yeah, I don't take my weekends off. I have to work on the weekends. I mean, I get paid. And then my last shots, I was like, what can I do? So I kind of figured out, oh wow, I have this talent. This is the things I want to do. This is the kind of lifestyle I want to be. And then I want to become a freelancer, digital nomad. And then I started posting content. I know that YouTube makes money, so I started posting content on YouTube. But in the beginning, it was like crap. Very bad video, bad views, and I gave up. And then I saw a guy, Takashi from Japan, he's doing a street interview in Tokyo.
Yes.
He's so popular. And I was like, shit, I can do something like that too. And I started, they were learning from him.
I see. That is how you started this interview series.
Yes, Takashi from Japan, that's him.
Yeah.
And then also a few other interviewers, like how success, how knock off school, spawn, or whatever. And then I found out interview is quite easy to edit. It doesn't take a lot of editing skill. It's easier to film, and I enjoy conversations.
I see.
So that's why I choose interview.
And then you always get to find new things through like what they say.
Yeah.
I would like to hear more about what you do in your interview series. And so you basically interview people from other countries and ask about mainly in China, right?
So recently I've been making a few videos. One is I will be posting next week. It's about black women living in China. You know, like black people have different history. American black, African black, European black, South American black is different. So I found people from different continents to talk about their experience. So you know, like black, like being black is also related with the topic like racism. So some people care about racism. Some people think certain behaviors from Chinese people are racist. Some people think it's less. So I think that topic, I think, is pretty interesting.
I think so too. And then there are so many misunderstandings that we have, not only between Japan and China, but like when it comes to different culture, different country, because we have limited access to the information. So we always believe for what we hear from social media for other people. But the reality is we cannot really tell what really is it if you don't see or listen to it by yourself.
Yeah, but with the internet nowadays, you can have a lot of information, so kind of taking advantage of that. So like, it's not just interviews, it's not just street interviews. It's kind of included so much information about a country. So I think that's what I found it. This work is fascinating.
Through the interview, what you want to share, what you want to deliver to your followers.
So you know, when people talk about immigration, they want to go to first like developed country. For example, like America, Australia, Europe, some countries in Europe, Japan, South Korea, and also like immigrate to East Asia is just trending. But like, of course, people go after Japan and South Korea, but not many people thinking about China. A few reasons is, one reason is political, but we're not going to talk about it. Second reason is like China has been closed. China is not really active. Like, not many people know about China until COVID happened. And then, I mean, that was bad repetition. But after bad repetition, people start coming back to travel, coming to China to travel. And then people realize, oh wow, traveling China is very different. It's very hard, but it's very interesting. So I think there's more. I can see more people wanted to learn Chinese, wanted to come to East Asia, not only China. So I think just basically like giving people idea of what East Asia is like. I don't want to only talk about China. I came to Japan, I interviewed people in Japan too. It's more like culture sharing.
Yes. Yeah, I watched your video recently, you talking about Japan, interviewing other people. And then I could relate so much, although the interviewee is not Japanese people but from the other countries, but how they feel, what they say, I understand so much. That's my impression.
But to be honest, I think that video is a little bit biased because I'm Chinese. I'm coming from China. I would find people who lived in China, lived in Japan, but they prefer to live in China. So that's why I think it might have slightly a little bias. So making Japan look so bad, but to be honest, it's not what I mean.
I understand. I think people wouldn't take it in a negative way.
Yeah, I hope not.
So what are the typical misunderstandings that the foreigners tend to have towards China and Chinese people?
So misconceptions about Chinese people, I think, I think two types of foreigners. One is if you look foreign, if you don't look foreign. If you are white, black, Latino, you look very complete with Asian people. You have like a special treatment in China. You will experience like, oh wow, Chinese people are so nice to you. They give you candy, they give you food. I experienced it when I was with my friends. And then the other type of foreigner, for example, you're from Kazakhstan, you're from Mongolia, Southeast Asia or East Asia, you probably won't receive much treatment. So I think misconception would be like, of course, the different racism people will say, oh wow, Chinese people are so kind. To be honest, it's true, but because also you look foreign, that's why they come to you, because it's something new to them. If you look, well, that's misconception number one, but it's also true though. It's weird. Yeah, I would say Chinese people is kind in general. Like, I can go talk to a random stranger. Hey, can I go to your house? No. Strangers would invite people to your house to eat. I wouldn't go to people. Like I felt like in here is more acceptable. You know, there's no much distance between people, but that can be overwhelming. So misconception number one, not misconception. It's a common phrase. So second is Chinese people are rude, Chinese people are loud. That's damn true. You can, in public places, people talk so loud, and then they might, like, for example, your friends is over there, I would yell like, hey, over here, over here. But people find it annoying. I found it annoying too. After travel to other countries with the comparison. Third misconception is, third one, can't think of third one. Yeah, I can't think of.
Okay, no problem, no problem. I found it interesting. I actually saw the Chinese people are very loud. Actually, I have a very loud voice too. So people say me that I am loud, even I am talking in Japanese or English. But generally speaking, Japanese people speak very quiet.
That's for sure. I like the quietness.
Yeah. I found that when I try to speak in Chinese, if I don't speak in a louder voice, people wouldn't understand what I say.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Because the tones, yeah.
When you are talking in a foreign language, because of the confidence, you naturally speak quieter, right? One time, I had a moment that I was speaking in a very quiet voice, and then the random AI answered to me like, and I realized that, probably I was speaking too small. So I tried to speak louder, saying the same thing, and then she finally understood.
Here's another thing though, China has so many dialects. So probably the person you talk to, their mother tongue isn't Mandarin. They speak like the dialect, and then
yes.
Mandarin is for work or for whatever. So it's very normal. Even like I'm Cantonese, I come to people and then sometimes I'm like, I do that too, like what?
You know, when you are in the crowd, you obviously need to speak louder, right?
Yeah.
Because China people everywhere, many people everywhere, so probably people naturally have to speak in a louder voice.
When I just moved to Beijing, I felt like, did I move to another country? The Beijing language sounds very different. They use a lot of slang too, crazy.
Yes, we know it, alpha in rolling the tongue.
And when southern people say, we don't pronounce, like for example, word 吃. 吃饭. We say CI.
Yes, I heard.
Yeah, so people make fun of me when I go to the north. Yeah, they call me Cantonese 老表.
Because I stayed in Shanghai more, I am familiar with the sound around Shanghai. When somebody comes from a different region who has a strong accent, I still found it difficult to understand what they say, although they speak in Mandarin.
Yeah, definitely.
But it happens to the Japanese language as well.
Oh, okay.
Different area, different accent.
Like Okinawa, Hokkaido is different.
Yes.
And then Tokyo.
Even my hometown, which is Niigata, has a different accent. And then even some vocabularies are different as well. So if I use it, the people in Tokyo don't understand.
Oh, okay.
But if it's just accent, they understand what I say, but they'll feel that she's not Tokyo. They can tell.
I feel like in Chinese, sometimes it's like half guessing, half understanding.
Yes.
Yeah, in a conversation, it just, you kind of know what they're talking about. Half guessing, half whatever.
Yeah. I also realized that talking about the Japanese people, especially because of the limited information on media or social media, people don't fully understand what's really happening in China. They only have a limited image, like for example, China is dangerous. China is scary.
What? For real?
No, that's not right. That's not right.
That's the most ridiculous thing ever.
Right.
You can talk shit about China, but not about the safety. Because I've been to quite an amount of countries, and I feel like China is the safest. Crazy. You don't have to be street smart in China. Like, everybody on the subway is on their phone. But imagine you do this in New York, people are gonna grab yours. That's how I consider safety is in China.
Yeah, I can feel that China is the same too. In Shanghai, if I walk on the street in the midnight, nobody's gonna attack me still.
But I felt like compared to Japan, one thing though, if you lost something, for example, if you lost the wallet in Japan, I felt like it's more likely you find it returned with the same exact amount of cash, for example. But in China, I felt like because the economy issues, you might lose some cash, but you find the wallet back. That's kind of safety, I would say, in China.
Yes. I heard that too.
If you have a motorcycle parked on the street, your bike would be fine. But your helmet or whatever inside the bike can be gone, likely. So it's different. but your bike wouldn't be gone. But if you do that in, let's say, America, your whole bike can be gone. That's the details about safety.
And then other typical misconception that Japanese people has towards China is that because people have a very limited information because of the situation, they only believe for what the government said. But the reality is actually not right. Especially the young people has more access to any kind of information now. I feel that more and more young people are getting more globalized in China as well.
Yeah, same in China. Everybody believes what the government says, but like people who have like a little bit more knowledge, they do some research online, or they travel to see it by themselves.
That is why a lot of people would like to explore the different.
That's why I have to. That's why I have to go to Japan.
Yes.
I have to visit.
Yes. That is why I try to come to China often as well, so that I can understand what's really happening like right now, because I already know what was happening in the past, but if I don't come back frequently, I will only have information that's in the past. But I always want to follow up on what's going on, so that is why I want to always come back. Because China is always changing so fast.
Yeah, not anymore. Now it's more like there's no more new things. Like we got everything we needed, so you won't see much changes.
That's actually true as well. I can actually tell. But still, compared to Japan, still a little bit.
Oh yeah. Because like real estate market is down right now, so there's no more. I don't think they will be building anymore. Also technology, we got WeChat Pay, we got those hand pay, whatever.
Yes.
Self-drive taxi.
Yes.
But I think it's becoming, like technology, they cannot be peak all the time. So now it's like more like a decline stage. So
Yeah, that's true.
now just like kind of remain the same. That's what I think.
Do you think that the people is always trying to seek for new ideas so that they can turn into the project or product? In Japan, it's very hard to see the new things happening at this moment. Still, always something happening, but not all the time.
I feel like China is not very big in technology, not very good at innovation. A lot of people know that. So I think, a lot of things, for example, when we talk about DeepSeek is not from China. It's using ChatGPT's original training model to invent DeepSeek. So you can say China is good at AIs and stuff. Another example would be, let's say, digital payments. China isn't the first to invent it, but it was China to combine everything into WeChat. Also like e-commerce. China is not the first one doing e-commerce, but a lot of countries didn't go that far just to protect local business.
That's true.
Yeah, so to answer your question, I don't think China is inventing a lot of new things. Yeah.
China is really good at learning from others and taking into action.
That's right. That's right. That's misconception, but that's true.
Yes. Yes. You made a good point actually. Yeah, some people don't fully understand about what's happening across the world. Sometimes think that China invented this, but it's actually the original model is from somewhere else, right?
I think not only Chinese people, it's more like Asian people. We're a bit conservative. Like when we talk about crazy people, it's all the white people, black people. Because they are crazy enough, they can have crazy ideas, they do crazy things, so they make things work.
Because you have a lot of connections, not with Chinese people, but from people from other countries, maybe including some Japanese people. And how do you think that we can get closer to each other so we understand each other more?
Well, travel, but like realistically speaking, how many people can actually travel? You have to have money, you have to have time. It's so hard. So what I can do is people out there who is looking for this kind of content, who have the eager to travel, who have the eager to learn, I will benefit those people. But for, I would say like 99% of people are closed-minded, not because they want to be, it's the way the society make them to. So I don't think there's a way to make people closer. Maybe one video can change a person. For example, they wanted to come to China, but all they heard, they've been doing research and then ultimately they found my channel. And then, like many people, they have many concerns. And then when they see my channel, like, oh shit, China is actually not bad. China is amazing. I want to move to China. But like these people are very, very small in amount. But would be a little bit more, I guess. So I think that's how people get closer to the world. It's by travel. It's by making friends.
I think so too. That's pretty much why I travel a lot as well, as long as I can.
Yeah.
My objectives for traveling is all about meeting the local people actually.
Okay.
So that I understand what those people think about and then why this is happening and if this isn't happening.
Have to see it in your eyes. Yeah, even for example, I'm Chinese, I want to move to Japan. Making Japanese friends in China is not enough. I have to live in Japan to really understand. Not just for a week. A week, it's just like holiday moon, you don't know anything.
Yeah.
I say it because I went there for 2 weeks. So I can say that.
Yeah.
But I want to live in Japan like once a year, like for a month. Yeah, I want to do that in Japan to really understand Japan.
Yeah, I think we are very close, and then as long as you can find the time for you can do that.
Yeah, I pay for the same amount of rent in Shanghai if I just traveling in Japan.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe I can find a friend I can stay for free. I have some guy friends there.
Stay in their home so that you can experience what it's really like, like living there.
For real. Yeah.
Stay in the hotel is not really like, having a living experience.
You have no interaction with people if you stay in a hotel.
Okay, so the next one. I might have already asked you, but let me ask you once again. I would like to ask your goal. So like, what do you want to deliver through your videos and all what you do?
So original idea was deliver Chinese culture, but I felt like I can do more than that. For example, if I travel to, let's say, crazy enough, Africa or Middle East, I can deliver Middle East. Is like if I travel to Afghanistan, India, I can deliver what India is like. So it's more than just Chinese. Yeah. So I felt like it's giving people idea about living abroad. I felt like in future, like moving around, relocation is become easier. You can easily move to another country. Like people will migrate more on Earth. So people will need information to, for example, research, to whatever, to get to know what's it like living there a little bit more before they move it. That's the thing I'm doing.
It seems like you'd like to contribute to connect the world.
A little bit. I don't have that ambition. I just like making videos.
I see.
I enjoy editing. I enjoy filming. That's what I want to do.
It's good that you enjoy what you do.
Yeah.
So finally, any messages that you would like to say to the podcast listeners?
I'm gonna say one thing very short. You meet two kinds of Chinese people. One is the racist Chinese people, which more likely happen to Japanese people. Second type is like young people, they don't care. Or another type is been to Japan, love Japan. So you have to choose friends wisely. Because among Chinese society, there's still a lot of like racism, hate to Japan because the history reason.
True.
So make sure you stay away from them, and then make friends with Chinese people who are also interested in Japan. So that way you guys can communicate better. So that would be my ultimate advice. Don't make friends with people who hate Japan, who don't ever want to go to Japan. These motherfuckers are retarded. They are uneducated, they are biased, they're jealous or whatever. They're not the type of people you want to be with. Or you can find Chinese friends, Chinese people living in Japan. These people are the easiest, right?
Yeah, easiest. Because they are already in Japan. They know about Japan. They know how the Japanese people think.
And they struggle making friends in Japan.
Yes. So our recommendation is to start find a friend within Japan. Chinese people living in Japan.
Yes, for real.
And then start traveling to China and then make a local friend. That's actually how I did in the past. Start meeting the Chinese people who live in Japan. And then I got more interest towards the country, so I moved to Shanghai and then start to get connected to the local people there. The more I do, the more I started to loving the city.
I have one question for you.
Yes.
So you organize events both in Tokyo and Shanghai.
Yes.
What do you think the difference? That's a very different point.
Yeah, I could say one thing. The people in Shanghai are more eager to join and meet the people. After event, like for example, inside the group chat, the people in Tokyo are more open to talk to each other somehow.
In Tokyo?
In Tokyo.
Interesting.
Interesting. Because I'm not physically in Shanghai, I haven't been able to follow up them enough. Probably that might be one reason. People in my Tokyo community we know each other more because the time that we spend is longer. Probably that is one reason.
There are also a lot of like English speakers. They are both interested in Japan and China. There are a lot of people like that. I know a few. So it'd be nice to have these people talking about like white people, black people to join your meetings. It'd be nice.
Yes. That would be very interesting. Although I mainly host the event for Japanese and Chinese people, but I actually welcome anybody from other countries as well. For example, when I have an event in Tokyo, there is one person who are from Costa Rica join, and recently in Shanghai, a lady from Vietnam joined the event. She speaks Chinese, and then when I used to host the online language exchange event, some people from Nigeria joined the online event because we can be anywhere physically. If we have internet access and then the Zoom app, then they can join the event if it's online.
A lot of people want to move between China and Japan and South Korea. Because when people look at East Asia, they look at China, Taiwan area, Japan, South Korea. So 4 of them are different. Yeah, but people are interested that these are the same time. Yeah, mostly like, I go to any country based on the job opportunities. So like they are open to Japan, they are open to anywhere. So I think that would be more fun.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'll be doing in the future.
Thanks so much for listening. I will keep sharing real stories that show what China is really like. Follow the show and stay tuned. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to send me a message. See you next time. 下次见。